Okay. Welcome in, welcome everyone. I had myself on mute. Welcome to Bayou Sugar Garden. If this is your first time here, welcome in. If not, welcome back. If you guys can please put a one in the chat to let me know that you can hear me and see me. We're gonna do a mic check 1 2 1 2, mic check 1 2 1 2, 1 2 1 2 for the 1 2. Welcome in Facebook, welcome in YouTube, welcome in Instagram, welcome in TikTok. Whatever platform you on, please at this time put a one in the chat to let me know that you can hear me and see me. I would appreciate it. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Mm, okay, that's not what we're here for. But anywho, this is your first time here. Welcome in. If not, welcome back. I am Bayou Sugar, and welcome to my channel, Bayou Sugar Garden, where we talk about gardening and I show you how I garden. We do a whole bunch of different things. We also have the Sugar Shack where we lay back and have fun because I am a DJ as well. I am also a medical professional. I'm a nurse. And so I have been combining all of my talents and gifts and incorporating them into my social media pages to spread awareness and information out there. So tonight we're talking about weight loss and gardening, and I want to share information that I have. Please remember that this is an open-ended conversation. That please put your comments and experiences in the chat. Um, it will be greatly appreciated. I started checking. Oh, okay. So I guess y'all, yep. Thank y'all for putting the ones in the chat. Y'all let me know y'all can hear me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really and truly appreciate it. Thank you over there on the TikTok side. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling that OG brand on TikTok say I'm feeling myself. Not really, but okay. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for letting me know y'all can hear me. This is an open-ended conversation. Like I said, what we go over, I just ask that you talk back and forth with me, and I'm just giving you my information, my thoughts, sharing with you how I feel and what I think. It doesn't mean that it has to be right or that it is right. Please let me know how you feel about it, and we can agree to disagree or agree to agree, whatever we want to do. So let me show y'all that my mama did give me some manners and show me how to speak to people. So I'm gonna start right here on the YouTube side. Welcome in to my viewers on YouTube. Welcome in. We have my friend from Pakistan, Tez Tareen. Y'all say hey. Y'all say hey to my friend from Pakistan. I met him on TikTok. Hey Tay. We didn't battle today. I had a lot going on today. We didn't battle today, but I did drop in earlier and say hey to you. So we'll get back to it. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. How was work? I hope work was good for you. Y'all, my TikTok family, if you haven't subscribed, this is Tez. This is the guy from Pakistan that I was telling you guys about a few days ago. He gardens in Pakistan, and he was showing me seeds and things that he had, and things that they grow, and teaching me about how they garden over there in Pakistan. So you guys definitely want to go over there, hit his link. You know what? I'm gonna drop his link in this chat, right? So y'all can go over there and subscribe to his channel. Okay. So let me get him on there. There he is. Go to the channel. Let's see. Let me go to the channel. Grab your link, copy, and I'm gonna come back to my channel. Y'all, I do have a lot going on right now, but we're gonna make it do what it do. For real, for real. So I grabbed his link, and it's gonna be say a paste. Grab this link. I guess I didn't grab the right link. Hold on. Go to his channel, grab the link, copy the link, go back to my channel, my live, paste it in the chat. Bada boom, bada bing. If you're on the YouTube side, you can now scroll down and see that I have pasted his link in the chat. Go on over there and subscribe to my buddy, okay? So you can ask him questions and connect with him when he go live, when he get his channel up and running and get his content together. You know, you have your hook up to your cousin and them over there in Pakistan, okay? Go on over there and show love. Tell them Bayou Sugar sent you, all right? Hey, Laura's Garden, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for Laura. Yes, Ordinary Chick, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for you. Guys, for those of you who are here on the YouTube side, you guys can drop your links as well in my chat. All you have to do is type SHUGA, like you type in the comment, type SHUGA in the chat, and my Nightbot will drop your link, okay? That way y'all can connect with each other. So that way Tay can see your channels and he can click on your channels and connect to you guys as well. But thank you for being here, Ordinary Chick. I appreciate you. If this is your first time being here, let me know. Let me know, because that face do look new. You look new. If you are, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Mike's Chaotic Gardening, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Homesteader Rachel, one of my channel members and co-op members, welcome in. Miss Rachel. Now my claps. Yeah, my claps can stop like it did uh other live when I was trying to do it with Big Rooster. But y'all know what? I gotta back up to the backup. One time for Miss Rachel. Okay, moving right along. If anything is gonna go wrong, you know it's gonna go wrong when you go live. But it's all right. Nothing's perfect. We keep it moving. Keep it moving. If I had to clap with my regular hands, I would have clapped for her. Hey, Crafty Leo, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, sis. One time for Crafty Leo. Oh, thank you for telling me, letting me know my sound was off because I was just a talking. Hey, Fatima, welcome in. Thank you for being here. One time for Fatima. I'm coming to y'all on the other side of the on the other platforms. I'm going through YouTube first, and then I'm gonna come get y'all. Crafty Leo is reminding y'all to make sure you hit that like button, that thumbs up as you come in, please, ma'am, and please, sir. Hey, D Bud Files, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Let's see. Also, another one of my channel members and the elect secretary of Stronger Together Forum Co-op, Miss LGG Love. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. She said, I started checking all my buttons. When she came in, she checked all her buttons. Okay. Hi. Now don't get mad at me if I mess y'all names up. But Ashay Amar, welcome in. I know this is your first time here. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. That big love in this chat. That's dope. Yes, so much love. Make sure you type SHUGA, which is sugar, my name, and Nightbot will drop your link and we can connect with you. Let me know, since this is your first time here. Welcome in. Welcome to the family. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and if you are a gardener, let us know that. I learned that from Mama Shirley, y'all. I learned that from Mama Shirley. That's one of our elders in our community. glad I'm subscribed. I love women and men who use this platform to speak on the. Hey, look, you in for a treat tonight. I promise you, you are in for a treat. You are definitely in for a treat. But you know, I know LGG, and me too. Me too. Me too. Me make sure I did not miss anyone. It is beautiful to see. We've come such a long way as a. You are so right. So right. We have come a long way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Such kind words. Love you too. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rob in the garden. Welcome, Rob. Okay, everybody's speaking. Thank you for subbing. Let's see, let's see. There go my boy, Dunzel Cooper. Welcome in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so this is your first time catching a live, but you've been here for a minute. I appreciate your support. I really thank you. All right, Crafty, she says she'll be in the bushes. Thank you so much. Let's see, did I miss anybody else that came in? Okay, that's everybody on the YouTube side. All of you guys on the TikTok side, welcome in. OG Brand one time for OG Brand. Now, I cannot highlight y'all comments on the other platforms, but I will acknowledge you guys. And the only reason why I can't highlight you on the screen is because the platform, the software that I'm using called EV Mux, it has not combined its comments with the other platforms. The only platform that it allows me to highlight is YouTube. OG Brand, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Let's see. And if you are on the TikTok side, only way that I will know that you are here in the chat is if you put a comment in there, or if you like the live. Sometimes I'll do it, but if it's a lot of people liking the live, I won't be able to see it. But I see OG Brand. I see Single Dad. That's my brother. That's not my real brother, but that's my brother in the YouTube streets. That's Girl Dad cooking up deliciousness. Hey, Girl Dad, welcome in. And let's see who else we got over here. Somebody named Sip 359. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. One time for you. All right, let's go over to the Instagram people. Who we got over here? I can't see. Okay, let me come back to y'all. I'm gonna pull up my Instagram because it's not showing me their comments. But if I go to my Instagram live, then I could see who's in there. But I'm hoping that it won't kick me off. Okay, so we're gonna go to the yeah, it's gonna probably kick me off. We'll go to Facebook. All right, all my Facebook people over there. The only way I'll be able to know that you are here is if you make a comment in the chat, and no one hasn't commented yet. So one time I will give a once and for all clap for the people who are joining me on Instagram and the people who are joining me on Facebook. I appreciate all of you guys. For those of you who are in the bushes, who are just watching, you haven't commented, thank you. I appreciate you. And lastly, for anyone who is catching a replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Leave me a comment, emoji, let me know that you've been here, and I will respond to you. Thank you so much. Hey, my girl, Netta Ness. That's my girl, Netta Ness. Welcome in. Another great gardener here. Okay, so I guess we can. All right, let's see who else we got that came in. So blessed. I see you, girl. I see you, girl. You done tipped on in here. Welcome in. So blessed. Welcome in. So, guys, we got a good lineup for you guys tonight. As you can tell from the title, when I go to TikTok, I'll be so nervous. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work over there on TikTok. I am yeah, girl dad. Yes, we'll be over there. She said it's not that bad, LGG. It's really not. It's really not. It's just takes getting used to. You know how when you do something new. Yeah, I saw you tipping. I saw you tipping. So blessed. So, guys, we have a good conversation here tonight. Hey, Tay, thank you for the gifts over there on the TikTok. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, you sleep today? You are. Yes, I am late. Get you some sleep. Go to bed. Thank you for coming. I know it's late your time and it's really late. So get you some sleep. Thank you for coming, Tay. I appreciate you for showing me love. That's my friend. Good night. Have a good night. So we have a good topic, guys, where we will be talking about weight loss and gardening. Hey, Ronald Leatherman, I see you. I see you. You didn't comment in the chat, so now I can see that you're here one time. Y'all, that is Ronald Leatherman on Facebook, and that's one of my daddy's best friends. Welcome in. My dad in real life was one of his best friends. Thank you for being here. He been knowing me since I was in diapers. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. And I hope everybody is doing well on your side. So, guys, we are here to talk about weight loss and gardening. Okay? And now I am sleeping. Okay. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. But thank you for being here, Tay. I appreciate you. We are talking about weight loss and gardening today. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because, for those of you who know, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. Um, I have struggled with weight loss basically. I'm not gonna say all of my life. I haven't been overweight all of my life, but most of my life I have. It wasn't until I got love you too, Tay. Until I got into my adulthood that it became so much that I was overweight to where I started becoming unhealthy. And most of us we know how we are. Hey Wanda, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for Wanda. Most of us know and have the same similar background that when we were younger, you know, we just ate. Nobody really paid attention to what you ate. We just was taught, okay, you can't overeat. But even when you're down south, we still overeat. I mean, that's just a thing. Down south, eat good food and you eat until you don't want no more. You don't eat till you get full, because when you eat and you full and you still got food on your plate, what your parents teach you to what? Clean your plate, okay? That's what we was taught. And then we were taught in school portion sizes. Let me tell you that those portion sizes were too big that we were taught, right? And we're too big. Most of us, if you think about it, if you're not on a diet or if you're not on a lifestyle change right now, I could probably tell you, when you sit down and eat one meal, your portion sizes for each one. Let's say if you got a 3-course meal, okay? I bet you the portion size of one of those courses is either 3 to 5 servings. And ask me how I know, because I was doing it. This is what we eat. Look, I'm with you. This is what we eat. You got a meat. So say you got a piece of chicken, and if you got chicken, if you from the south, you got to have some rice or potatoes. But we're gonna stick with the southern. If I got fried chicken, then most likely I'm having beans and rice. So that's beans and rice. We gonna say that's one entree. Okay, we just gonna say that's one entree because that's how we fix it. If you We ain't separating the beans and the rice. Beans and rice is one thing down south, right? Then you got your third thing. We'll throw in some greens because if you're eating fried chicken and you eating red beans, you're gonna have some greens. We ain't gonna even talk about the cornbread because we know that's a default that is going on the plate. But we just gonna say we got cornbread. I mean, we got greens because we want to be a little healthy because you got won't have a vegetable, right? So we gonna say that's a meal. Think about how you fix your if you was to go in the kitchen and fix yourself a plate of beans and rice, cornbread, not cornbread, beans and rice, fried chicken, and greens. Think about the portion sizes that you would fix. With the chicken, you probably gonna get at least 2 pieces, right? Look, he said, you name beans, greens, potatoes. That's how we do. You name it. He said, you have to speak first to how many ounces of service is cataract is not category. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. So we eating meat. You probably gonna have about 2 pieces. At least. I'm gonna say that's the minimum. You're gonna have a leg and a thigh, or you're gonna have 2 legs, right? Then you're gonna have beans and rice. You probably gonna have 2 scoops of beans, and then you gotta have more beans than you have rice. So you probably gonna have 3 scoops of beans on top of them 2 scoops of rice. Then all the juice for those of you that like bean liquor, pot liquor, whatever you want to call it, on top of your beans and rice, right? Then you're going to have your greens. Now, most of us don't like vegetables. So you ain't going to put no 2 scoops of greens on your plate. You're going to put one. Unless you like me and it's mustard greens, then I'll probably put 2 scoops because I want to eat a little bit with my beans and rice. And then I want to save some for last to crumple my cornbread up. And y'all know what that motion is, what that is. Sopping up that green juice like that. So if you're thinking about that, think about that plate and how it looks. If a portion size is about the size of the palm of your hand, right? About this, supposed to be about this size. So think about it. Your scoop of rice, you probably got 2 of these, 2 sizes, right? And then you probably got 3 sizes of your hand of beans on there, right? Let me put my fingers down because it make it look. Somebody might say my whole hand. We ain't talking about the fingers. We just talking about your palm. This is just the standard. Some of y'all palms is bigger than mine. And I got man hands. Some of y'all got lady hands, so your palm might be smaller. Y'all might have the right size, but I got man hands. This is overeating, even if you get a palm size. That's too much. That's too much. And I'm gonna tell you why it's too much. It's too much because half of us don't even do a lot of moving around, whether it's exercise or working or whatever you do, movement throughout the day to work off what you're eating. So you're eating and adding all of this into your body, and your body never gets a chance to work it off. So what are you doing? That food is just sitting there. You just loading yourself up, and it's gonna use what it needs. Hey, Malia on the TikTok side, welcome in. Thank you for being here. It's gonna use what it needs, and then is what it's gonna do with the rest. Somebody tell me. It's gonna store it as fat, right? Right. So I'm doing multiple things at one time, y'all. So you want to cut back on those sizes because the main thing is you're not doing enough to work off all of that food that you're putting in. your body. Your body, you're not working that much. You're not doing that much physical activity for your body to work it off. It doesn't need that much. If you are doing some working out, even if you was working outside and doing hard labor and walking around and doing a lot of exercising and all of that, you still wouldn't need that much food. You're only supposed to eat enough food to provide your body with what it needs to conduct the processes of keeping you healthy and alive. But we not eating to live. We living to eat. That means you eating just to make your own self happy. You're not eating to allow your body to break down. You're not eating to give your body what it needs to break down the food and use it as energy and then store a little bit for fat and throw it away. So that's what we are struggling with as humans, period. Doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnicity, what your background is, it doesn't matter. We're doing too much. And tonight, what I'm going to do, I've talked a little bit too far ahead of myself. But tonight, what I want to do is share a video with you guys on some research that I've done to just kind of confirm what I've been saying. Because sometimes when one person says it, you may not get it. But if you hear from somebody else, it may explain it a little bit different. It'll help you to understand. But and those of you who have been on my YouTube side, you have heard me go through this time and time again before. We've talked about this and had conversations. I don't think we watched this particular video, so this part will be new for you guys. But I am on a mission to spread the knowledge that I've learned from healing myself and losing weight and becoming healthy so that you can do it as well. And just to let people know that we don't have to do it through medication. And it's not hard. Because when we think about losing weight and trying to be healthy, the first thing losing weight, we think about exercising. I got to go to the gym 5 and 6 days a week and be there for at least 30 to 45 minutes. And I got to run however many hours to burn these many calories. It's throw all that out the window. Okay. Everything that you have learned about that, throw it out the window because I'm about to give you the real tonight and let you know what you need to do and show you how easy it is. And I'm pretty sure if you are on the YouTube side, some of these people here that are commenting in the chat, YouTube can tell you they already know we've been doing this together as a group for almost a year. I know we've been doing it since what January of this year, but we've been talking about it for a long time, almost a year. But we actually started taking action January of this year, and we've been seeing results. Hey, Joe Q, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So, back to those portions. I want you to think about that. If your portion size has been the size of my palms, that's just according to the powers that be. They tell you that you need to eat about this much food. So you probably have been eating, when you sat down to eat, you have been eating 4 to 5 servings of each entree every time you sit down to eat. And think about you doing that 3 times a day because they tell us to eat 3 times a day. Think about how much food that you're taking in. If you're sitting down 3 times a day and each time you sit down, you're eating 4 to 5 servings of 3 to 4 or 5 different entrees. Let that sink in. What are you doing? What is your body supposed to do with all this food? You're overloading. You're overloading your body. And then that's where we end up having diseases, becoming overweight, and all of this other stuff. But we're going to slow down. We're going to slow down and we're going to break this thing down for y'all tonight, make it easier for you to understand. And the reason why I want to slow down and really to me, I'm backtracking because I started on TikTok telling you guys about doing the no sugar. Welcome in, Lady Kenyatta. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you for being here one time for Lady Kenyatta over here on the TikTok side. I want to backtrack because those of you who are on TikTok know that we started our series where we were watching videos with Dr. Vandana Shiva, who is a environmental activist from India. And we watched those videos, and she was giving you the background about saving your seeds and all of that. But I feel like I kind of put the cart before the horse. So before we continue with that, I want to back it up and let you guys see the importance of the food that we eat and how it affects our bodies and how we use it to maintain health and maintain a healthy weight. And for those of you who say, I'm already sick, it's okay. It's okay. If you do this, you can reset your body and those diseases that you have will be no more. And I have to watch what I say because certain things on these platforms you can't say. Okay. So stick with me tonight and we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna go back and I'm gonna share with you the things that I found and we're gonna talk about it back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So let's see. And I see y'all is, hey, Gentleman Jay, welcome in. Thank you for being here. One time for Gentleman Jay. I appreciate you. Let's hear it for Gentleman Jay. He over on the TikTok, over on the TikTok side, you guys, he is one of the he is not one of he is one of my family members of the Living Legends agency over on TikTok, and he is the owner of the Living Legends agency, and he have given me the opportunity to be a part of their agency. And what that is, just in case some of you haven't heard me say before, that is like basically uh, um just a let me give you a general or easy way to understand it. It's like having you a lawyer for TikTok. So if something happens to you over there in TikTok and you need someone to go to battle for you, to find out what happened to your account, if somebody got flagged, or if you got your account got dismantled or whatever has happened, Living Legends Agency can be your middleman for you and TikTok. So if any of you over here on YouTube have TikTok, Facebook if you got TikTok, Instagram if you got TikTok, TikTok if you got TikTok. He said, great way to explain it. Thank you, Gentleman Jay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Any of you that have TikTok and you don't have any security for your account, go on over and look up my brother over there, Living Legends. Now I'm gonna show you the recruiters page. Her name is Silver BT. I have dropped her link before in the chat, and all you have to do is go to either Gentleman Jay's page or Silver BT page, and in their bio is a link for the application for to be a part of the agency. Once you do that, you can message Silver and let her know you put your application in, and they will contact you. Okay. You need to have somebody in your corner over here if you are really taking social media really seriously, because anything can happen, especially if this is your bread and butter or this is a second income for you, um, or multiple stream of income, however you want to look at it. You don't want to miss out on no money because you ain't insured. Get it insured. Let me tell you this. How much it costs? Nothing. You ain't got to pay nothing. They gonna protect you. Why? You ain't gotta pay nothing. You'll get that explained to you later. It's already taken care of. You already paying for it. So you basically just have to pick an agency to help cover you, right? So let me show you. Maybe I need to turn this light down. Show you her page, so you can go over there and check her out. So this is her name. You see it at the top, Silver BT. Okay, that's on TikTok. And in her bio, if you go down to the bottom of her bio, there's this link right here. Miss my finger right there. I can't get my finger to go up. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna drop it in y'all check, cause yeah, me and this light can't be great. Is a link right there at the bottom of the chat. You click that link and it'll take you directly to the application. Okay? And all it takes is 2 clicks. Bam, boom. Application sent. And they will get back to you. Message Silver and let her know that you have filled out the application and the rest will be taken care of. You won't have to worry about them trying to dismantle your TikTok account. Okay? All hearts and minds are clear. Hey, G Mama. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for G Mama. Get y'all popcorn and stuff ready because we about to start the video and share the information with you guys tonight. Hey, Miss T. Welcome in, Miss T with the T. One time for Miss T. Y'all make sure y'all checking my girl out every Monday through Friday on TikTok. She streams regularly and has good information and good content for y'all. Make sure y'all support my girl, Miss T with the T. All right. So let me share my screen with you guys and we're going to watch this video. And we're not going to like watch it straight through. We're going to pause and talk about it a little bit. Is that all right with y'all? All right. Go and grab y'all a popcorn, get your little drinks and sodas and everything. So you can sit down and listen. Get your paper and pen because you're going to need to take notes. And you might have some questions. So, yeah, we're going to do that. So I'm going to make him big on the screen. Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me. You should still be able to hear me. But just to make sure, everybody, make sure that you can put a 1 in the chat to let me know that you guys can hear me. Now, this video is not my video. I am sharing with you this video that I found when doing my research. This video comes from the Diary of a CEO. I definitely encourage each and every one of you, if you have not visited this YouTube channel and watched any of the videos, I implore you, please, ma'am, please, sir, you need to go over there. They are putting out some great information and it's good information. It's not information. Thank you guys for letting me know you can hear me and see me. It's good information for you. Oh, thank you, Miss T. Thank you. You the bomb too. Like you say, thebomb.com. Thank you so much. This channel, The Diary of a CEO, they interview so many people that has, and I'm going to say, good information. They telling you the truth. They not blowing smoke up your tailpipe. They telling you the truth, uncut and raw, okay? This particular interview is going to blow your mind. So get your paper and pen because we finna dive into it. Now this little trailing a little bit in the beginning gonna blow your mind. I'm finna tell you. And some of y'all gonna be mad. Some of y'all gonna want to change the channel. Some of y'all gonna want to put me on mute. Some of y'all gonna want to unsubscribe to me and say this woman is crazy. She don't know what she talking about. But just stick with me. Just give me a few minutes, please. That's all I ask. Just give me a few minutes, okay? Now let me go ahead and get started. Thank you, Amor. Thank you so much. All right. Y'all got y'all pen and paper? Let's roll. Let us roll. I'm going to mute myself so y'all can hear it good.
This calories in, calories out model doesn't work at all. If you're trying to lose weight, what you need to do is
Dr. Jason Fung,
the founder of intermittent fasting, whose influential work could be the key
to a healthier and even longer life.
Every continent is seeing this increase in obesity, but we put the blame on the individual. The problem is there's something wrong with the message we're giving people, and I can go over a few examples. First of all, exercise is really good in a number of ways, but in terms of weight loss, it's actually a very, very small effect. The whole idea that you need to eat as soon as you get up is just false. We know from twin studies that 70% of your risk of becoming obese is due to genetics, but it doesn't explain why the population became much more obese. And we know that you can't cure obesity by saying eat fewer calories. It's about fixing the hormones that are behind the calories. If you want to lose body fat, you actually need to extend the period of time that you're not eating, so you do some intermittent fasting. There's all this data showing that fasting activates the body. It increases your energy and your concentration. A treatment available to everybody for free, and it will be healthier for us.
So I need some advice then. What does your fast look like? What food should I be giving my body, and in what proportions?
The first thing you gotta do is...
I've got to talk to you about these new injections people are getting to lose weight.
I think...
Quick one.
Y'all sure y'all ready for this? Is y'all sure y'all ready for this? Because he just said a whole mouthful just in the 1 minute and 31 seconds. Is y'all sure y'all ready for this ride? He done said already that he done said already exercise only helps a little bit. He said you gotta fast. He said what they've been telling you about these calories in, calories out is wrong. He just said a whole bunch. And that was just a trailer just to give you an idea of what he gonna talk about. So let's just get into this. And then he talk about the injections. Look, nobody better not say nothing about my Ozempic. You hear me? Because I'll tell you why. Because I tried it. But we're gonna get into that. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Okay? Because I know y'all excited to get into it. And I'm excited to give it to you. Let's go.
This is really, really fascinating to me. On the back end of our YouTube channel, it says that 69.9% of you that watch this channel frequently over the lifetime of this channel haven't yet hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to ask you a favor. It helps this channel so much. If you...
Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Really good. This book here, The Obesity Code, Unlocking the Secrets of Weight Loss. Why did you write this book? What was the sort of driving motivation behind committing what must have been a very long part of your life to this subject matter?
It was actually a very interesting sort of journey of discovery for me. So I did my training in nephrology, which is kidney disease. So I'm a kidney disease specialist. And I thought about weight loss sort of very conventionally, sort of calories in, calories out, just watch what you eat sort of thing. And that's what's taught to all doctors, is that it's extremely unhelpful for people. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work for patients, and it doesn't work for doctors even, right? So doctors who want to lose weight, they don't use calories in, calories out, because it doesn't really work. And we all know this. Every person has sort of counted their calories, and almost all of them fail to succeed. So the whole point was how to get people to lose weight. And so I started to look into the literature, and I started to read about it and so on. I got very, very interested in it. And again, I started to become very unhappy with the discussion about calories in, calories out, because the whole point was that people had this idea that it was energy balance, right? And there's this sort of energy balance equation, which is calories in minus calories out equals body fat, right? Because body fat is a way to store calories. But that's not a very helpful sort of description of how to approach the problem, right? The problem is not that people didn't realize that they had to eat fewer calories or increase their calorie expenditure. The problem was, why were they eating more calories than they could expend, right? And it's because the body is being told to store energy, right? That's the way it is. That's why you're taking in more calories, or you're storing more calories, is because your body has hormones that tell you to store calories. So there's a hormone called insulin, for example. And if you give people insulin, so inject them with insulin, which is a drug for type 2 diabetes, almost everybody gains weight. So if you give somebody insulin, they gain weight. If I gave you insulin, you would gain weight. It has nothing to do with your willpower, for example. If I gave you insulin, you would gain weight. Why? Because I'm giving your body the instructions to store energy.
So you're saying
Right,
that
G-Mama, they
weight
would be
gain
so
and
mad.
obesity in particular isn't a function of calories in, calories out. It is a function of hormones.
It's a function of hormones. And it's sort of, you have to think about it in sort of levels, right? So calories in, calories out is true. So body fat is it's a way to store energy, which is calories, equals calories in, calories out. But that's not the real question. The question is, why are you storing more calories than you're expending? And it's because you're telling your body to do so. So for example, if you take another I'll give you an analogy. Say alcoholism is alcohol in minus alcohol out, right? Same idea. Or if you have a room, it's the number of people, how full it is how many people enter the room or exit the room, right? So same idea, right? It's absolutely true. So alcohol in minus alcohol out
Equals how drunk you are.
equals how drunk you are. So alcoholism. So can you simply cure alcoholism by telling an alcoholic, oh, just drink less alcohol than you expend? It's like, yes, you can say that, and it's absolutely true, but it's not useful in any way, because you've never gotten to the deeper understanding of why that person is taking in more alcohol, right? You have to get to that next level and say, it's like going one level deeper. Why? Why are they drinking more alcohol? Well, maybe they're depressed. Maybe they're addicted. Deal with the addiction.
Okay, so I want to stop it there because he dropped the nugget right there. Like, I want y'all to understand what he is saying. So basically, in layman's term, for somebody who may need it to be explained in a different way, I'm going to explain it how I understood it when I watched it the first time. So what he is saying is, instead of looking at it as, if you're saying if somebody is having a problem with food, instead of saying, well, to fix that, then instead of you taking in more food to fix the problems that are going on within your body, stop taking in so much food. Basically, people have been telling us you fat because you eating too much food, and that's not the case. Not all the time. 90% of the time, that is not why you are fat. It's not you're fat because you eating too much food. Okay, you're fat because of the food that you're eating. Why are you eating this food? What is causing you to eat this much food? That is why you are fat. You are fat because you have a problem. Let me give you another example. You go to the doctor and say, I have headaches, and I've been having headaches for weeks, and I don't know why I'm having headaches. So what is he gonna do? Most likely he's gonna run some tests, and then until he gets the results back from your test, he's gonna give you some medicine. Say, hey, take you some Advil, take you some Tylenol, whatever. He's gonna treat the symptom, right? See where I'm going with this. He's gonna give you something for the symptom. The test come back and say nothing is wrong with you, then he's going to just tell you, okay, well, you just continue to take those pills that'll get rid of your headache, instead of him trying to figure out what is causing the headache. What is the cause? Instead of him trying to find the cause, they're treating the symptom. And that's what we've been doing all our life. Instead of trying to find the cause of obesity, trying to find the cause of diabetes, trying to find the cause of ADHD of trying to find the root cause of these things, we've been treating symptoms. And that, in a nutshell, is what he's saying. Just like he explained with the alcoholic. What we have been taught and trained to believe when somebody is an alcoholic, all they got to do is stop drinking and they won't be an alcoholic no more. But that's not true. If you don't fix why they drinking for a reason. Some people drink because they trying to black out. They don't want to think about it. But what happens when they don't have that drink? You go right back to those problems are still there, right? You got to get to, thank you, Ashmore, you got to get to the root cause of the problem. If you don't get to the root cause of the problem, it's still the problem. And in essence, that is what he's starting off saying. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I hope y'all with me, following along with me. Follow along with me. And see, it's not that deep, y'all. It's not that deep.
That is the way to deal with alcoholism. You can't cure it just by saying drink less alcohol. The same way you can't cure the obesity by saying eat fewer calories, because you're not understanding why the body is storing more energy.
With the amount of information we now have, the amount of science we have, one would expect that obesity levels would be coming down.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you think about the way most people think about it, it's mostly still in calories. Even in the academic centers, they all think about sort of calories, how to get calories down, how to reduce calories. And I always say, well, it's not about the calories, right? It's about fixing the hormones that are behind the calories. Like, because you can choose to eat fewer calories. Yes, that's true. But you have to ask yourself, why are people eating so many calories, right? Well, it's because they're hungry. You can't choose to be less hungry. And therefore, you have to really talk about controlling the hunger and controlling the hormones, which are behind the calories that you eat. And that's going to be much more successful to you. If you take two different foods, equal number of calories, and you eat them, the hormonal response to those calories are completely different. So you eat 2 slices of white bread and jam. All that energy, so insulin spikes up because it's very high in refined carbohydrates. All that energy goes straight into your body fat, and you've left none of it for energy for your day. By 10:30, now you're ravenous, and you go get yourself a low-fat muffin. Again, pure carbs, insulin spikes up, all of that goes straight into your fat stores. Why? Because you told it to. Remember that when you eat white bread or muffins or refined carbohydrates, you're going to have this insulin spike, which is going to tell your body to store energy. If you eat an egg, you don't get that spike in insulin. So that energy that you've taken, those calories, are there. You can use it. And so what happens? That keeps you full during the day. If you're telling your body to immediately store those calories as body fat, well, guess what? Over time, you're going to gain body fat because you told your body to do that. If you eat the egg and insulin's not spiking up, well, you haven't told your body to store that energy, so it's going to be around for you to use all day long.
And you won't be hungry.
And you're not going to be hungry.
Okay, so just to give another perspective on what he is saying, just to make it a little bit simple, welcome in Growing What I Eat on the TikTok side. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So I'm just going to explain to you how I got it when he is explaining. So you all know that if we eat these foods that are high in sugar, added sugar, let's say, high in added sugar, those things like energy drinks or a piece of candy, when you eat it, you get an instant rush, right? So he's saying when you eat those things that give you an instant rush, your body cannot use all of that at one time. You're giving your body a whole bunch of things that it cannot use at one time. And what it does is it just uses what it needs for that time, and then it stores the rest for later, right? That's just one piece of candy. So just imagine if you're eating 5 to 10 pieces of candy at one time, you're giving your body a whole bunch of things that it doesn't need at that time. It's only going to take what it needs, and the rest is going to be stored for fat. You're going to get this big rush of energy, and then after it's used that what it needs, you're going to get this big crash, right? because you're welcome growing what I eat because your body, you're overloading your body with too much at one time, right? When you shock, it's kind of like shocking your body. When you give it that shock and it's up and you running and running and running around working and you're just jittery, you're high on energy. And then when all of that energy is gone, your body is tired. You've over caused your body to go into overload. And so that's why you feel that tiredness after those energy drinks or after you've had those Skittles and Mountain Dew. You get this big crash because you have sped your body up and it probably was working 5 times as fast in an hour than it would have been working all day. And so when that energy runs out, when that sugar burns out, your body is tired because it's been overloading, been working faster than what it normally does. So that is in fact what he's telling you. We're eating these things, causing our body to get this big rush and overwork to try to do something with all of this stuff that you've put in it. You're overworking your body to the point to where it gets tired. And then you have that big drop, right? She's said Skittles and Mountain Dew is nutty. Yep. But we've done that. I've been there before, especially if you're trying to stay up and study for a test or you want to be up all night, things like that. It just that's the combination that we know will work, that will keep you up, right? Now that's just my interpretation of what he said. Y'all can let me know in the chat. And let me also say Instagram. I don't know. Let me see how long have I been live for? An hour. So Instagram, you're probably going to get cut off because streaming services only allow 1 hour of streaming on Instagram. So you guys will have to come over either to YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok to finish watching what we have tonight. Okay. But thank you guys on Instagram for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And join me over on one of the other platforms. If not, catch me again live another day. And for those of you who are still live streaming with me here now, we will not be able to finish this whole thing tonight. This is going to be a series, but we're going to get to as much as we can tonight until I feel like I'm wearing down or y'all wearing down. But we're not going to go too much longer because it's a lot of information. I don't want to over stimulate y'all minds and discourage you because too much information at one time, will cause people to just like tune out. So, but let's see what else he got to say.
Because your body's like, why do I need to eat again? Because you basically have taken the energy that you need. I've got it available, right? It's sort of like if you go to the grocery store, right? You can store food in the refrigerator. Suppose you go to the grocery store, put all your food away, lock it away in the refrigerator. Now you have nothing to eat, right? You're going to say, oh, I need to go out and get some more food, right? Same thing with your body, right? So if you take food, but you've also spiked up your insulin, you're going to lock away all that energy immediately into your fat stores. It's not going to be available for you to use. Well, you're going to say, I'm going to go out and get more. So you haven't controlled the hunger. That's going to lead to the caloric intake, which is going to lead to the weight gain.
People look at this through an evolutionary lens and say, we just didn't have this much food. So it's the abundance and ease of access to food. It's the fridges that we now have. It's the, we never had fridges in our home. So people point at it and go, well, that's why people are gaining weight. And, we're suffering with obesity at epidemic levels. It's just because there's more supply. And the brain is taking advantage of it because once upon a time, if we didn't eat that jam and toast, then we would have, maybe not have been able to find food for another 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's the whole story because if you think about it, and people, again, make that assumption that we don't have any control over our body fatness, right? So they say, well, it's available, so you're going to take it, right? In fact, that's not true because we actually have a number of different hormones that tell us to stop eating, Okay, so if you eat, you cannot simply keep eating and eating and eating, right? If you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, at some point you have to stop because you're full, right? So there are systems, very powerful systems within our body that tell us to stop eating. So you eat food, there are stomach stretch receptors, for example. So as your stomach stretches out, it sends a signal to your brain and says, stop eating. If you eat a lot of protein, it activates a hormone called peptide YY, which tells you to stop eating. If you eat a lot of dietary fat, you activate a hormone called cholecystokinin, which again tells you to stop eating. And these are very powerful. If you look in the wild, there are no obese antelope. There are no obese lions. Why? Because how much body fat you carry is actually very important. If you are obese as an antelope, you're going to get eaten. If you're an obese lion, you're not going to catch any food. So therefore, it's going to correct itself.
So if I overeat now, my body will basically overcompensate by burning off the extra calories.
Absolutely. So if you eat a huge meal, right? You go to a big wedding or something like that, you eat a huge meal. The next day, you're probably not that hungry. If you eat a giant steak, so you're activating all these satiety hormones, peptide YY, cholecystokinin, you're eating all this food. Well, you may not be hungry for the next day.
So that means that my body has some kind of baseline weight.
Yeah, it will know whether you should eat more or less. So there's this concept called the sort of body set weight, which is a sort of thermometer. That is, your body sets a weight that you should be at. And if you go above that weight, or if you eat too much, it will activate hormonal systems to bring it back down.
Okay, so you hear that? Our body is designed to keep us healthy. It knows what to do. It don't need our help. It don't need our help. It is designed to let you know that you are full. Those things are there. Now, let me just say this. All of that he has said, your body telling you that you're full, your stretch receptors in your stomach, all of this is good information, and you will recognize all of that if your body is functioning properly. Okay? So I'm going to back up a little bit to give you guys a little more context to explain, so that it'll give you a better picture of what he's saying. So what he just described in these last few minutes that we were listening to him is how your body should function if it's functioning properly. If we're eating correctly, if we're not exercise, if we're eating correctly and doing the things that we should do, that's how our body should respond. But if you're not eating the right things, then you won't be able to recognize when you are full, or you will be conditioned. Let me use myself as an example. I was overeating for years, okay? It got to a point to where I did feel my stomach get tight to let me know I was full. But before it got tight, I felt full before then, but I kept eating. Not because I felt hungry, but I kept eating because I wanted the food. I craved more of the sugar. I craved more of that salt. And so I kept overriding the signals that my body was sending me to tell me that it was full or that it was done. What happens if you keep ignoring a signal? Whatever you practice, it makes perfect, right? If that's what you practice over and over and over again, it becomes a custom, it becomes a habit. So that is what happens when you ignore the signals in your body. It doesn't go away. Your body doesn't stop functioning properly. No, you just conditioned yourself to ignore it. And so that's where we're at the point now. While we're unhealthy, we are at the point to where we just ignore these signals. It's not that they're not there. It's not that our body is not still doing it. We're ignoring it. Yeah, it may be some of us, a percentage of us, to where our body is not functioning that way as well, but that's because of how much we put in our body. But we're going to stick with the simple explanation for right now and just say you have conditioned yourself to ignore the symptoms, to ignore the signals. And so you just keep eating. But again, like I said, when you keep ignoring something over and over again, hey, F.R. Humphrey, thank you for being here. Your body becomes accustomed to ignoring it. Like mothers with kids. This is another example. Mothers with kids. And some of you who don't have kids, you've probably been around people with kids and you can relate to this example. The mama be in the house and the kids making a whole bunch of noise and it don't even bother her. But somebody who don't have kids coming in and they hear all that noise, it bothers them. It's like, won't they sit down somewhere? What? Or the kids keep saying, Ma, 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 Ma. They done said it about 20 times and she don't answer until maybe like the 21 time. Then she finally say, huh. But if somebody else come into their environment and they hear him saying Ma over and over again, it may bother them. But she is used to it, right? She have come accustomed to that noise, so it doesn't bother her. That's how we're treating our body. We're training our body or training our minds, building our mindsets to ignore the signals that our body is trying to tell us. So we keep eating. Your body's telling you you're full, and you keep eating that cake. Your stomach get tight. You keep eating that cake. You get a headache. You keep eating that cake. Your feet swell up. You keep drinking that drink. You get chest pains. That, in essence, what we are doing. That's what we're doing. All right, let's go on a little bit further. I hope I'm helping y'all.
If you don't eat enough, it will also activate hormonal systems to bring it up. So it's like a thermostat that you have in your room. For example, you set the room temperature. If it's too hot, the room activates the air conditioning.
Thank you for
if
the
it's too
rose
cold, it
girl. When I
activates
eat,
the
I
heat.
appreciate you.
Your body actually acts the same way. If you gain too much body fat, your fat cells, for example, will produce leptin, which is another hormone. The leptin tells your body to stop eating.
That's really interesting. So in the case of obese people, their set point must just be really high.
Yes. And that's the crux of the matter. Why is that set point being overridden? Just like if you have a room that's too hot and you look and you say, the thermometer is set for room temperature. Why is it so hot in here? Then you can say, okay, well, what's the problem? And the problem is not, heat in versus heat out, right? That's a very simplistic way. Same thing. If your body has too much body fat, you got to then think about, why are you overcoming the normal compensatory mechanisms that are happening, that are stopping you from eating? A lot of it relates to processing of foods, of course. So if you take out, so remember I talked about stretch receptors in the stomach, right? So you eat natural foods, there's a natural break. It stretches the stomach, you stop eating. Well, what's one way? Pull out all the fiber, process the foods, turn it into, say, a very fine dust. That means it's absorbed extremely quickly into the bloodstream. So that means that you've got pure carbohydrate, basically mainlining it into your IV, like an IV. Your glucose spikes way up, your insulin spikes way up. Completely unnatural, right? If you eat pure carbohydrate instead of eating it with, proteins and fats, it's going to shoot way high. That's unnatural. And that's going to overcome the natural tendencies for you to stop eating. So, you've basically overcome that protective mechanism because you've ultra processed the carbohydrates. If you don't eat any protein, if you don't eat any fat, you're not activating peptide YY, which is the satiety hormone. You're not activating cholecystokinin. All of a sudden, you're eating, 500 calories of white bread, but you have zero satiety. Or if you drink a Coca-Cola or a soda, for example, I've always, thought about this. It's like, how can you take 1,000 calories, for example, in one of those giant sodas you get at the ball game or something and don't feel full at all. Whereas if you took a steak that's 1,000 calories, you'd be like, I'm pretty full. I don't really feel like eating. You
Okay, so let's process that a little bit. So we go stop right there and just process that a little bit. He just said a mouthful. How can you keep eating if you got a 20-ounce bottle of soda that's full of all of this? And naturally, when you drink that, if you go with the natural way the body is supposed to work, those receptors are supposed to let you know, hey, I'm full. Hey, I'm full. But what happens is in those drinks, now this is just how I interpret what he's saying. The things that they have put in those drinks, it causes it causes your body to be able to take it in and uptake it into your system rapidly, so fast to the point to where your body or your stomach don't have a chance to stretch and tell you full. Soon as you drink it, it's bam, it's in your bloodstream. So you see how that, to me, that's very deceiving. Like, why would you want to make something like that that could possibly harm somebody? You're giving them something that you know that is too much for one person to ingest at one time, right? But you're going to give it anyway because, and I'm just going to say, companies do it because the more you get, the more money they make. The more you buy, the more money they make. So the more 20-ounce bottles you drink, which you're going to keep buying more because you don't feel full off of drinking one of them. Hence why you go and get another one. And then sometimes after that, you need a bottle of water because you're still thirsty. Why are you still thirsty after you just drank a 20-ounce bottle of soda? Now you need a water. You ever stop to think about that? It is because of what that soda is made of. It is intentionally made so that when you drink it, you don't feel full, but technically you are full. Somebody is making something intentionally to make you consume or eat more of it so that you won't feel full because they want you to keep coming back and buy more. But at what cost is that to you? It's costing you your health. Even though you're not feeling full, you're still loading your body with thousands of calories that it has no use for. And no telling what other ingredients that you're loading into your body. LGG says, facts, keeping it real. I did not know I was doing something wrong. To put in context, I was not nutritionally woke. Yeah, we all are. I mean, and it's not, we've been taught certain things certain way, and it just takes us time to unlearn it or learn the truth. I would say that. Learn what it really is, what they're really doing to your food. The nutritional process was not applied to my intake. Uh, I will apply it to my patient meal plans though. Weird. Yeah. Yep. You apply it to your patients, but not to yourself. Look, you're not the only one. What about the protectors of the community, public advocates? That's what he is. He's one of them. We don't, and they get silenced though. They don't want this information to come out. So it's out there, but if you're not looking for it, and who's out there looking for it? If you're happy, you're not really looking for it until you have a reason to look for it. Until you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you got heart disease, you got diabetes, you got high cholesterol. Then that's when you're looking for it. Now you're scrambling trying to find a way out besides having to take 13 to 14 pills every day. We got to know this beforehand. Amor says that makes sense. It does make sense. Think about it. These things, there has been a recall recently within the month. for Splenda. Now y'all know these pink and purple, pink and blue and yellow packets of substitutes because at one point the world was in a crave of we want to do less sugar, so we'll offer substitutes. That's what the big companies came up with. We'll offer them a substitute. You don't have to stop your sugar intake. Look, we got substitutes. You can take these substitutes, right? Fast forward years later, they have well, I'm not going to say uncovered. They have openly provided the studies and information that those pink and purple and yellow packets of sugar were not only causing you to crave more sugar when you ingest it, but it was causing you to be sick as well. And it was more deadly than you eating the regular sugar. You should have just ate the regular plain table sugar. It's crazy. So in essence, this is what he's saying. These things that we're eating is you're not overeating or you're not constantly always wanting these, craving these things just because you just have no self-control. No, scientifically and biologically, these foods are designed to take control of your body, to make you want them, and to make you want more of them. All right, let's keep going.
You drink the soda, you're like, I really feel like eating some chips or popcorn or something. Why? Because it has zero satiety. Right?
Interesting. So if I've got a baseball stadium, what I want to do is I want to make sure people get a soda because then they'll also buy the chips. But if they just eat the chips, maybe they won't buy anything else. But the soda's going to increase my revenue because it'll basically just pass right through them.
It'll pass right through them. They're going to store all that energy as calories, but they're going to want more because you haven't made them full. Right? So the whole point is that you have to think more than about the calories. There's more there than just the calorie story. There's this whole hormone.
Ain't this diabolical, y'all? Like they purposely composing foods, knowing that it's not healthy for you, knowing that it's gonna cause you diseases, cause you to be sick. But they purposely put ingredients in it so that you won't get full, so that you can eat more of it. I remember being in one of my fellow YouTubers live, Whiteside Tactical Solutions, and the doctors were there, Dr. Eric, Dr. Derek, and Dr. Coy. And I asked the question, I was like, so why don't I get full when I'm eating potato chips? Why can't, the question about the Lay's, you can't just eat just one? Why can't I just eat just one? It ain't because you greedy. It ain't because you fat and you have no self-control. It ain't because of that. You know why you can't eat just one? Because those chips were made, those ingredients in those chips was made for you to feel like that. When you eat it, you instantly break it down and it's gone out of your system, out of your stomach. So your stomach don't even get the chance to tell you, okay, you've eaten 5 chips, that's enough. No. Before the second one is even in your mouth, the first one is already gone. They are making these foods so that you can overindulge, so that they can make money. Right? Let's go. Look, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I just want to make sure you guys know tonight that you are not overweight and unhealthy because it's your fault. You can't just point the finger at yourself. It's a setup. Anybody that watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta and know Aunt Bertha say it's a scheme that Todd set up to bring it to you with the bullshit. Todd set this all up, y'all. No, I'm just playing. But it is a scheme. It is a scheme. Yes, LGG say read your labels. Read your labels. She said, because of your doing real label and no sugar, I stopped all those sugars. Why stevia growing nice? Yep. Grow you some stevia. Look, we getting to that. We getting to that. Read your labels. LGG say, read your label. Laura say, so they told us that they were doing us wrong in a sly way. You can't. Yeah, Miss Laura. They told you in a slick, sly way, off the slick. You can't eat just one. Uh-huh. Hey, Truth, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for Truth. Truth says that's why the sodium and sugar content is so high. It makes you more thirsty. Exactly. It makes you want more. Front labels are for entertainment. Back labels are for education. Look, Amor, nowadays, the back labels, yeah, it's for educational purpose. And you make sure you read it because they going to try to hide some stuff in there. If it's a word you can't explain, don't get it. If you don't understand it, don't get it. If you buying something like coconut water and back there on the back of them labels, it say more than coconut and water, don't get it. Because if it's coconut water, that's all the ingredients should say, coconut and water. That's it. You don't need no extra stuff. Truth said only water or nurture water will quench your thirst. Say, yep, there you go. There you go. Let's see what else the doctor had to say. Let's see.
Hormonal balance.
You're saying that overeating isn't just a choice, it's a hormone-driven behavior.
It's a hormone-driven behavior. I mean, the whole thing about obesity is quite interesting to me because if you think about obesity, if you think about in the United States, which is where I get a lot of
Thank
my
you for
data
the
from,
rose, Truth.
you have maybe 70% of people overweight or obese, and it's going up every year. It's been going up every year since 1977. And if you think about that, it tells you that the problem is not willpower. The problem is not the people. The problem is the environment that they find themselves in, the food environment that they find themselves in. Because you can take an analogy. Say you have 100 children. One of them fails. Well, that might be the child. They didn't study. What if 70 of them fail? Would you say it's each and every one of them's fault? Or would you say it's more likely that it's the teacher's fault?
Everybody's fault that everybody.
I think it's more likely that it's the teacher's fault. So if we have 100 Americans and 70 of them are obese, the problem is likely not an individual willpower problem. The problem is likely that there's something wrong with the message we're giving people, the information we're giving people, and the food environment that we're finding ourselves in, which is dominated by this sort of calories in, calories out thinking. And what's really unfair, of course, is that we put the blame on the obesity or overweight on the individual. And we say, well, they let themselves go and they didn't watch themselves. They weren't careful. It's their fault. And that's the stigma that comes with this whole calories in, calories out thinking, because we say it's their fault because they could choose what they eat. It's like, yes, they could choose what they eat, but they didn't choose the food environment that is telling them to eat all this ultra-processed food, that is making all this ultra-processed food available to them, that is telling them that all this ultra-processed food is good for you.
So leptin is this hormone that essentially brings down my hunger, makes me less hungry. Yeah. Is it therefore possible that people are becoming leptin resistant?
There is leptin resistance. The question again is why? And the way to think about it is it's sort of this sort of balance, right? So insulin, if you give people insulin, like if you think about causes of obesity, what causes people to gain weight? Well, if I give you insulin, you'll gain weight. If I give me insulin, I'll gain weight. So insulin causes weight gain, whereas leptin will cause the opposite. So it's sort of this seesaw. Body fat is nothing more or less than a store of energy. right? And you only store energy when your body tells you. Our entire body runs on hormones, right? Nothing happens without the hormonal system being activated. So insulin is pushing us to gain weight. Leptin is pushing us to lose weight. And what's happening is that one is sort of overcoming the other. Insulin is overcoming the leptin.
If obesity isn't about a lack of willpower, and it isn't just a case of people being lazy or all those things that sometimes some people stereotypically assert, I've also heard the counter argument that obesity is a function of our genetic makeup and we inherit
Ooh, this gonna
obesity
make
from
somebody
our
mad.
parents, you know. Is there any truth and merit in that?
It's yes and no. So yes, there is a very strong sort of genetic predisposition to obesity. So if you take, somebody with a family history and look at the genetics, about 70% of your risk of becoming obese is due to genetics. And we know that from twin studies, for example.
What do we know from twin studies?
If you take twins and raise them sort of in different environments, they actually turn out very similarly. So we know that there's a genetic component to obesity. So when they sort of do the calculations, they say about 70% of obesity is sort of genetically related.
So if you take a twin that comes from originally a family that were obese and you put them with a family that are not obese,
yeah,
the child will still likely become obese.
Yeah.
Even with the family that are not obese.
Yeah. So this was done, and obviously they had twins that were sort of separated at birth. Compare them after they've grown up, and say what's the sort of correlation between the weight of the two, and it's about 70%. So you have somebody who's very overweight, and twin A goes into one family, twin B goes into a second family. Twin B is going to be more prone to gaining weight, even if they're with a thin family, right? So the environment has some role, but it's the genetics have a very large role.
So not
70%,
genetically.
About 70%
You don't have a fat gene.
is genetic. So there is.
No
However,
such thing as a fat gene.
the part that's important is that doesn't explain why we have obesity in the last 40 to 50 years, because the genetics of the world population has not changed. So if we're seeing more obesity now, and remember, this is not a USA problem, it's a worldwide problem. We see it in Asia, we see it in Europe, we see it in America, we see it in South America, we see it everywhere. We see it in Africa. So every continent is seeing this increase in obesity. Therefore, it's not due to this recent change within the last 50 years is not due to a change in genetics. So while, yes, it's true that there is a strong genetic component, that explains my risk of, say, obesity compared to yours, but doesn't explain how the population of the United States, for example, all of a sudden became much more obese in general.
So you're saying this is really about a predisposition, which basically means your genetics make you more or less likely, for some reason, which is a genetic reason, to become obese when you make certain lifestyle choices. But that is a predisposition, which means that, and I guess your work asserts that the predisposition relates to your hormones response to the foods that we eat.
Yeah.
So really, it's really a genetic response to foods, which is based on your hormone response.
We all have a certain genetic sort of predisposition to obesity, right? So all of us have a certain risk. Some people, obviously, they eat whatever they want and they don't gain weight. We all know people like that, right? And some people sort of look at a muffin and they gain weight. So you have that genetic predisposition. So that explains the difference between two people, but it doesn't explain the difference within an entire population. Like if you take the entire population of the earth or even of America or whatever, the genetics haven't changed sufficiently of that entire population to say why there's more obesity now than before.
So we're inheriting our parents' hormone response.
Yeah, but we're the hormone response that we have is going to be dependent a lot on genetics, but the food choices we're making are different than our parents. So they're eating different things. If you think back about what your grandmother ate and stuff, it's different than the food environment that we find ourselves in right now. And that food environment is creating this sort of, is sort of increasing the risk over time. that's the sort of what we need to try and figure out, and why we need to have a deeper discussion as opposed to calories, because we've been having this sort of calories discussion for 30, 40 years. It just hasn't been very helpful.
You call it a deception. You say in part 2 of your book, you say the calorie deception.
Yeah.
And you say there are...
Okay, before he go further with that, I want to address what FR, she had the question where he mentioned obesity has been increasing since 1977. She said, did something significant happen in 1977 related to diet and nutrition? Yes, the way that, I can't say the world, but I know the United States processes and grow food. In one of our discussions that we had, hey D, welcome in. Thank you for being here over on the TikTok side. One time for D. If you guys remember, one time before we did a video that told you about how they were using they started using things that they use for war, and it's certain chemicals that they use for warfare that they brought back here and repurposed and sold it to us for pesticides, fungicides, insecticides. That's, yeah, around that time, that stuff started happening. So that has a lot. And then what Truth mentioned about the high fructose corn syrup, a lot of that was started being placed heavily in the food. But majority of it is the way that they grow and process food. That's what happened during that time. That's why we have to start paying attention to our labels, because you never know what they spraying on your product, on your food for growth. You never know what's in the soil. And we know now, and that's a lesson for another time for those of you who this is your first time in one of our discussions. We know now that it's going as deep as to they putting poison in the soil that your food is growing in. Now that they done messed up the soil so much, isn't the food can't even grow in the soil. They're doing it in the lab. But that's what he was referencing, FR. Let's see, check it out. Okay. Let's continue to go on. Hey, Just Gifted, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for Just Gifted. Let's let him continue with the calorie point. But I hope you guys understood that he was saying that they can't use that excuse to say that you fat because your mama done fat. Oh, you fat because the people on my daddy's side is big. That's why I'm big. I got that from my daddy's side of family. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You may have inherited the way that their hormones respond to food, but that doesn't have nothing to do with why you still, when you eat the different foods, or even if you was eating the same food, it doesn't explain why your body is not reacting the way that it should to those foods. It's not reacting because they have changed the way that they are making these foods. They are making these foods intentionally so that you can eat more of it. All right. So you have gained the memory, the hormonal memory of your parents. You haven't gained the genetic makeup that translates to your physical body being. No, that is not true. You don't have a gene that tells you, okay, well, her daddy was fat, she gonna be fat. Her mama was fat, he gonna be fat. That is not so.
5 wrong assumptions about obesity and weight loss. The calorie in, calorie out are independent of each other, so won't trigger one another. This interesting point about the basal metabolic rate being stable.
Yeah.
Is that in essence because people will often say, I have a low metabolism. It's kind of like a word in culture. If someone is obese, often the diagnosis is they have a low metabolism.
Yeah.
Is there any merit in that? Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. The question, so when you think about body fat, you think about the energy balance equation. Body fat equals calories in minus calories out. This often leads people to say, well, just eat 500 fewer calories and you'll lose a pound of fat per week. It's unquestionably false, because every single study that we've done over the last 50 years shows that if you eat 500 fewer calories, then over time, depending on what foods you're eating, eventually your body will just burn 500 fewer calories. So that's your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories that your body is expending in one day. So we see this in almost every single study. We've known about it for like 80 years at least. You eat fewer calories, your body burns fewer calories. But that's going to limit how much weight you're going to lose, right? So this idea that just eat fewer calories will automatically lead to weight loss is completely false, because we know that eating fewer calories leads also to burning fewer calories. So you eat 500 less, your body burns 500 less, and you're not losing any body weight.
So I go on a diet, let's say, because I'm trying to lose weight. My metabolism lowers to meet the calorific restriction that I've imposed on myself.
Yeah.
What then happens when I come off the diet? Does my metabolism stay
Generally, yes.
low?
Yeah. So that's that yo-yo dieting effect. So say you start with 2,000 calories in, 2,000 calories out. You're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight, right? Now you decide, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. So you go down to 1,500 calories, thinking that you're going to burn 2,000 and the body fat's going to provide 500, right? That's how you balance that equation. However, if you eat the wrong foods and you're eating all the time, so you're eating 10 times a day, 8 times a day, like people say you should, you're eating low fats or you're eating tons of carbs, you're spiking your insulin. Insulin prevents you from burning body fat. Okay, so we've known about this for 80 years. So now you eat 1,500 calories, but you're keeping your insulin levels really high. So fewer calories, but lots of high carb foods, eating all the time, insulin stays high. You're taking in 1,500, your body is now burning 2,000, but you can't burn any body fat. So the calories that are stored in your body fat cannot be sort of taken out. It's like it's in the bank and the bank is closed. You can't take it out. So what's going to happen? Well, you don't have a balanced equation. So that cannot happen. So what happens is that in order to balance that equation, because your insulin levels are high, you're eating 1,500 calories coming in, your body can only burn 1,500 calories. Your metabolic rate has just now gone down by 500 calories. And guess what? You're not losing any body fat. So that's an example of how the calories idea is completely wrong. Because if you continue to do that, what's going to happen over time is that you get tired because you're burning fewer calories. You don't have enough energy to generate body heat. So you're cold, you're tired, you're hungry. So you say, okay, I'm going to go to 1,800 calories. So now you're eating 1,800 calories, but you're only burning 1,500 calories. Guess what? You gain weight. And you say, but how can I gain weight? I'm eating less than I did. Yes, you are eating less than the 2,000 calories you used to eat. You're eating 1,800, but you're eating the wrong foods. It's very high insulin foods. So therefore, you're going to gain weight. In fact, everybody says that. And all the nutritionists, all the doctors, they just don't believe them. They say, you're lying, you're cheating, you're eating more than you think.
So this explains.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there, because that's a good point, good place to put a pin in it. FR, let me know what he said that you referring to where you said this is not adding up. People can and do start. Let me know. But that was a good point to stop at where he stopped at. Because and I want to say is he keep referencing the insulin part, and I just want to make sure that you guys go away with the takeaway point of the importance of your insulin and how it works and how it all is very important. How your hormones are very important to explaining your weight loss. I've never heard of high insulin food before. Yeah, so this is a life changer, and it was a life changer for me. Foods that I had to learn that my body was not operating correctly, in part because of the food I was eating, and second part is because I wasn't giving it time to rest. Okay. Um, the resting part, which refers to the fasting, just like you have to go to sleep at night, you can't work 24 hours a day. You have to get some sleep, right? You have to shut down and give your body some time to sleep, to rest, to reset. That, in essence, is what fasting is. And that's how we are supposed to look at it. We are giving our body a time to go ahead and break down and use whatever else that it has left over, and then giving it time to rest and relax and reset so it can be able to handle what's next. So we're not giving our body enough time to rest. Some of us are probably stop eating, and this includes snacks. Because even if you eat, oh, I'm just gonna eat a little healthy apple. I want a little snack before I go to bed, or I feel like I want a little something sweet. I'm just gonna eat me some grapes. Even though you might eat 5 or 6 grapes at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, you thinking it's healthy, you're still causing your body to work, right? If you that's like your boss telling you, I'm gonna let you be off on weekends. You can work Monday through Friday. You don't have to work on Saturday and Sunday. But they telling you, but I'm gonna put you on call. You still working, even though I don't have to physically come in. If you taking calls from me when we on call, let me say this, because for on call means different things for different people. As a nurse, when I'm on call, that means I have to answer. I'm still working. If the phone somebody calls off, I have a phone that I have to take home with me, and I have to answer phone calls. If somebody has an emergency or if they call off, they have to call me. I'm still working. I'm still working. So in essence, that's what you're doing to your body. You, even though you might be eating something healthy and it might be small, you are still causing your body to work. And then you go to sleep and you've only given your body maybe 4 or 5 hours to rest. Your body needs a break longer than that. You need to allow your body to be without any food. You can drink water, but without any food, and it varies individually. I'm not going to give a set number. Some people say 16 plus hours of fasting. I'm going to say 12 plus. You will have to see what your body tells you. I'm going to say at least 12. Give your body a break from not eating any foods. At least 12 hours a day. 5 to 7 days a week. You have to give it a break. You have to give it a break. If you don't give it a break, you're going to work it, work it, work it, work it. And then we end up with diseases, and then you end up with fatal stuff. The next thing is he pointed out the insulin in your body. Um, so in essence, there's another video that really explained, and we'll watch it another time, how insulin really works. And I'm going to like speed say it right now. So insulin is the hormone that goes before everything. It goes to each system in your body and lets your system know, hey, I have this uh, substance that you need to work. Open up your doors or open yourself up to receive it. Okay? If your body is functioning properly, it will listen to insulin and open up and receive whatever you have ingested or whatever nutrients it has broken down to receive, if your body is functioning properly. Where we're it having the problem is our body is not functioning properly. Our body is sending the insulin, but our body systems are not responding to the insulin. Here is a example, a correlation to it, or maybe a different explanation of how you can understand it. Say, for instance, you're at a wedding, right? When we go to weddings, before the bride comes down, there's the ring bearer, right? And he comes down the aisle ringing his bell saying, the bride is coming, the bride is coming, right? Everybody know what that means. That means stand up, they finna open the door, the bride coming in, the groom finna receive his bride, right? In essence, this is how it works in your body. The insulin is the ring bearer in your body is going through, and insulin and other hormones going through your body, ringing a bell, say, hey, heart, open up. I got this for you. Hey, lungs, open up. I got this for you. Kidneys, hey, I got this for you. Pancreas, hey, I got this for you. Brain, hey, I got this for you. I got this for you. Open up. You got to receive it. But what happens is our body doesn't open up. These different systems, your cardiovascular system doesn't open up. It gets to a point to where it ignores the insulin. It don't open up. Your lungs get to a point to where it ignores it. It don't open up. Your kidneys get to a point where it don't open up. So what happens? What your body does? Okay, that first ring bearer didn't work, or the first insulin we sent, you ain't listen. So we're gonna send you another one. Maybe they ain't here. Maybe they ain't here. So we're gonna send another ring bearer down the aisle. Maybe the people in the church ain't stand up. Maybe we need to send somebody else, or maybe somebody need to get on the mic and announce, "Can y'all please stand up? The bride is coming." In essence, insulin, your body say, okay, well, they ain't here the first time. Let's send some more insulin. And what your body is going to do is keep sending it until it opens up. Well, what happens if it never opens up? That's where you end up with high levels of, not only is your insulin levels high in your body, but whatever your body or that body system is not receiving, it sits outside in your system, and then that is high. So say, for instance, for diabetics, I'm sorry, if insulin is coming and telling your pancreas that we got some insulin, we got some glucose for you, well, he said, I don't want it, I'm not opening up. So they keep sending insulin, and then your insulin levels, when the doctor checks your blood sugar, your blood levels, it shows you have high insulin. And because it's not taking the glucose that the insulin is trying to let it know to get, that glucose is also sitting in your blood, and it's backing up because it's more. You're still eating, right? So you're getting more glucose in your blood system. So when they check your blood sugar, your blood levels, you got high insulin and high glucose in your body. That is how our systems are working, and that's how it's working against us. Our body is not listening, it's not opening up to receive the chemicals or the hormones or the um, whatever it has or whatever it needs that to function properly. Our body is ignoring it, and that's how you develop a disease. Okay, so that's what the importance is with insulin, why he keeps referencing insulin, because when your body ignores insulin, it can cause a plethora of things, not just problems with that result in diabetes. It could be high blood pressure, it could be Alzheimer's, it could be high cholesterol, it could be ADHD, it could be ADD, it could be sickle cell, any kind of inflammation is the result of that. Okay, let me get to some of y'all comments. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. But I'm gonna close off with a resolve to how we can get started. But we just got halfway through the conversation. We'll finish this another time. Let's see. So I think I stopped with, see, I've never heard of, yeah, high insulin foods. Oh, nutrition and don't know. So okay, so he was answering FR question. Thank you, Truth. Thank you so much. She said, I forgot who said it, but they said we're not supposed to eat when the sun is down. Yes, that is a good rule of thumb. Um, you're supposed to eat with the sun. When the sun is up, that's a window. That's your window for eating. That don't mean you're supposed to eat all day, but that's your opportunity. While the sun is up, that's the opportunity for you to eat. That's the pattern of your body. Your body is usually up and working during that time. And so that's when they suggest that you eat. And then when the sun goes down, you should be resting. Resting your allowing your body to rest. Not getting proper sleep will cause weight gain and other ailments. Yep, if you're asleep, you exactly. If you're asleep, you're not eating. But we don't sleep, or we sleep 4 and 5 hours a day, and then we up all the time. We up, we snacking. You might not